Welcome to the Yo-11Podcast. Yo-11Podcast, mostly Vegas OBS casino experience and more. Michael Traeger is a casino and travel loyalty expert who also helps people turn their travel dreams into travel realities. And now your host, Michael Traeger. How's it going, Michael?
It's going well, and I love the reality of this.
Reality is a good thing.
It's fantastical.
Fantastical.
We have to work in mentioning win and fantastical on every episode.
35 seconds for a win. There he is. All right, now we know.
There you go. That's right. Well, the last episode was like 48 minutes. Oh my God. We talked too long there. There was too much talking. It's like too much. We gotta move it along because people got things to do. They can't be listening to us for an hour.
Yeah, we try to be as consumable as possible.
Yes, we do try to be as consumable as possible, as much as we can, and we have a good topic lined up. So I think that's sort of a topic that comes up sometimes, and we're just going to chat a little bit about it. But other than that, I think I'm not thinking about too much else right now. Vegas, I haven't been paying attention to a ton of Vegas things lately. There is some news about Wynn and him wanting to deal with this defamation suit. Was it? Did you follow that? I don't know.
No, I did not.
You follow more Vegas news kind of stuff, but it's not a big deal. And then also the recent news about all of these casinos getting fined by gaming for different kinds of activities which involve illegal gambling or bookmaking and stuff like that. I've posted some of that in the Travelzort Facebook group. But otherwise, I think we'll just move on. We have some great topics, unless there's something else Vegas oriented that's on your mind other than Nori Bar.
Nope, nothing Vegas oriented really on my mind. I think I'm good.
Okay. And you're not dreaming of 10 times multipliers or anything like that when you go to bed at night?
I am dreaming of a white Christmas. I'd like to see snow again. But other than that, I think I'm good.
You're good? Okay. So you're dreaming of a white Christmas, but you're not dreaming of a 10 times tier multiplier.
I'm dreaming of 10 times pay on certain slot machines. Like that's a nice bonus to get.
Okay.
When you hit a bonus round, it's like 10 times pay. It's like, yes. Those are the best ones.
I'll tell you what I'm not dreaming of is the King Kong slot machine, because that stuff is scary. I'm not going near that machine. That's just too evil. That's just too much for me to handle.
I still remember the first time that you were playing it. And I think we were both there looking at it like, and it was just like.
And when he would smash the glass, like Kong would smash it, and it would like the boss like, whoa, wow, he's a little irritated right now. I cannot imagine winning like the largest jackpot on that or getting whatever it is. Like, I have no idea what it is, like $1,000 or something like that, or Kong making some incredible bonus show up. I just cannot imagine what would happen, because we hit some bonus rounds which were fine. I mean, they were lovely because they were bonus rounds, but holy moly, would that be a lot? We need to do that video of that other game, the one with the bonus, the must hit stuff by the 3 different colors. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the one where you're playing and playing to get a bonus round, because that's basically what it is. You're playing for a bonus round. It was
very disciplined. Okay, it was very, very disciplined. Okay, so what do you got for us? Bovestro?
All right, today we have a podcast ponder segment, so let's get to it. Today's podcast ponder: what keeps you coming back to Las Vegas as a tourist? We want to know, why do you keep coming here? With fees that are going up crazy, resort fees, parking fees, CNF charges, various service fees, so many fees. I'm always finding a way to fee you: a French fry fee, a plastic straw fee. There's a lot of fees. And there's also becoming reasons to not really come out to Las Vegas as much. As we asked at the beginning of the year, if you will be making more or less trips to Vegas this year, what keeps you coming back as a tourist? Is it the shows? Is it the gambling? Is it the food? Is it the immersive experiences, as a lot of the PR people like to say? Or do you more come out here just to hang out with your friends? Is it the people that keep you coming back? This is what we want to know. What keeps you coming to Las Vegas as a tourist? And we will be posting that on our X feed later today, and we'd love to see your comments. Michael, what do you think?
And we can sort of we love to see those kind of comments. It's, by the way, it's the immersive elevated experiences.
Right.
No, immersive elevated experiential experiences.
There you go. And don't forget, it's also an experience fee. So he does always and an immersive fee. You got to get that immersive fee. That's
just
surrounded by that fee.
I'm going to say that Vegas has a vibe. And is that a legitimate reason to keep going somewhere? There are a lot of places we go because they give us a happy feeling and a vibe. And it's very like what makes things flow in your brain, that makes something feel like it's got a really positive, happy vibe to be there. And that is Vegas. When I used to gamble at Argosy in Indiana, which is not Argosy anymore, and I never felt the same kind of vibe walking onto that riverboat that I feel when I get to Vegas. And I'm not exactly sure how you can pin it, but I think obviously it has to do with a number of things, but there's just a feeling and a vibe which is just different in Vegas than any other gambling destination, in my opinion, but also different than any other destination in the world, which is also sort of interesting because Vegas can be divisive that way, because Vegas is probably a city where more people say it's like love hate. Like you hear tons of people. It's very interesting to hear like a city where you mention a city's name and people say how much they love it, or they say how much they hate it. Right? I mean, like that's ever hear? I mean, I don't understand it, but people who say like, oh yeah, I love Vegas, or I go, oh, I hate Vegas. Oh, I don't want to go to Vegas. I don't like going to Vegas. I'm like, how can you not like going to Vegas? Like what's wrong with you? So that's sort of interesting, but there is a vibe and a feeling. I haven't figured it out. I haven't been able to pin it down. Of course, so much of that vibe at this point in my life is tied to this incredibly happy feeling I have when I get to win Las Vegas.
There you go. Well, if you are looking for good vibes of various sizes, check out our latest sponsor, Adult Superstore Emporium. I'm kidding.
No, but I think, but it actually is, like, all kidding aside, it's more than just the jokes about win, but there is a vibe about Vegas. And I think it's like if it's like chemistry, right? If you put all the right things together, you can create something which is amazing. And that just is sort of what Vegas is. It puts together a number of elements, and those elements that have to do with, the resorts, the gambling, the food and beverage, the way people act, everything, even from the people watching and all of that kind of stuff. And it's just like you sort of mix it all together, and that creates this incredible vibe. And that's what keeps me coming back to Vegas.
All right. Good to know. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely a vibe out here. That's for sure. There isn't, other places have vibes, but Vegas is a unique kind of a vibe, and I think that's what's always going to be one of the draws that keeps people coming back.
Absolutely. So that's it. I'd love to hear what you think. Actually, and I'd love to hear if someone can describe this vibe thing better than I can. Go for it.
All right. Sounds good. Pardon me. My throat just got all weird. All right. That being said, let's get on to the tease.
Yes, I think today's topic is, what's an exceptional view worth? Is an exceptional view, is that worth something to you? So basically, the same room or suite with a really good view or without a really good view, is that valuable to you, or do you just not care? Or does it vary depending on the circumstances? People talk this way all the time about hotels, like it's just a bed to sleep in. That's like everybody who stays at Excalibur. And I'm sorry not to upset our loyal Excalibur listeners, but that's it, because that's always the excuse somebody uses when they stay somewhere that it's not a hotel. They're like, it's just a bed to sleep in and a shower to shower in. But I do think, in a lot of circumstances, views, and obviously water views are really important to me. I personally love water views. I love looking at the ocean. This is one of the reasons why I love Atlantic City so much as a destination, because not only do you have the boardwalk and the beach and great casinos and good gambling and lots of fun and good vibe, you also can look at the ocean, and in Las Vegas, you've got a lot of great views. And in different cities, you have views, hey, like some people could value having an amazing view of the White House from their hotel suite. I mean, things like that. So is a view worth it, or is it not? And it's an interesting thing. How about for you, Bovester? Like a view, like when you were visiting Vegas all the time, like did it make a difference to you? Like did you care when you went, when you go to check in and you've got the lowest room category, or you got a comp room and you don't have a lot of status, and you're not necessarily being blocked at a room that's like the best room or the best view. Did it make a difference to you? Did it enhance your trip when you got a really good view?
Yes. I mean, I didn't spend a lot of time in the room, but it was nice to wake up, open the curtains manually, because that's how, people in my class have to be, unless I was in a go room.
That is not true. The go rooms had electronic drapes.
They did.
Okay. They just don't work anymore.
Not anymore.
But
no.
Okay, so and I think it is. And when you spend time in the room, like one of my favorite things in Vegas, or sometimes in a lot of hotels, I love spending time on a terrace with a view. I love spending time in the room with a cigar and looking out at the view. I love the idea, if you're going to have your breakfast in a room, having a view. I absolutely adore the sphere views in Las Vegas. So to me, I think a view makes a difference. But I do think there are a lot of people out there who think like views are totally like, who cares? Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, for me personally, when I was first coming out here, if I could get a view, I wanted a view. It's just nice to like be able to go to your window, open the curtains, and see the strip. And that's what I liked about the Flamingo Go Room, is that they weren't ridiculously priced, and I could feel like kind of rich, with this nice view. And it depended where you were. If you were by the front of Flamingo, you could look out the window. You got Caesar's Palace, but then you turn to the left and you see just about everything there, and turn to the right, you got Mirage and all that stuff. And if you end up on the left side of Flamingo, you had pretty much the same view like you would get at the Cosmopolitan wraparound suite that faces the fountain, just the opposite angle of it, because now you're looking across the fountain towards the Cosmopolitan. And that was a great view to have. So even though I wouldn't spend a lot of time in my room, I like the idea of having it. It was later on, I didn't really think about the view as much as I did when I was first coming out here. But in the beginning, it's definitely nice to have a view. And if you're staying downtown, it's hit or miss, man. It's really hit or miss.
It is sort of, it is interesting. Like I was recently discussing, I tend to travel books a lot at the JW Marriott Essex House, which is a really great grand hotel. It was originally the Essex House Hotel. It's now part of Marriott Luxury, and they have great views of Central Park.
Yep.
But depending on how they do their suite configurations, if you want to do, unless you're doing like the super bougie artisan suites, if you do a one bedroom view suite or a one bedroom view deluxe suite, they're on different floors. So the regular one bedroom suites that can be connected and create a two bedroom suite, the view suites, those are on the 35th to the 38th floor.
Right.
But the deluxe, which is a significantly more expensive one bedroom suite that can have a connector, those are actually on low floors, but they're both view suites. And their opinion is that they put the deluxe on a low floor so that you feel like you're more in the park, like from like the 7th floor or 6th floor or something. But I know a lot of people and some, that I speak to who say, I don't want that. Like, I want to be on like the 35th floor and looking at the park. So I think that's sort of interesting. And that's always like sort of cool, like what people think about views, like high floors are really important and that kind of thing. And that's high floor can be really great looking at the ocean, but a lower floor with a direct view of the ocean can be really cool too, especially if you have a terrace, because it brings you in closer to the ocean, right? And instead of being really high up. So it's interesting. And it's also interesting how hotels decide what's considered a premium view. So at the JW Essex House, they decided the deluxe one bedroom view suites were on low floors, not high floors. Excuse me. Now, maybe part of that just had to do with arrangements of the property, and they're making it, like, hey, wouldn't you rather be on a low floor and feel like you're inside Central Park than on a high floor, so further away? But I think that's really, really interesting, the way people think about it. But I'm very view positive. I'm always curious what other people think about views. I don't think obviously there's not a right answer or a wrong answer. But this getting into our topic of like real gamblers, like what's real, right? Like real shoppers, real gamblers. What's a real upgrade, you see? And we're, sort of joking again, because this is real in quotations. And a lot of people, maybe it's not real, but it's good. But a lot of people always talk about in Las Vegas, like, oh, I used the $20 trick. That's where they like slip someone a tip when you're checking in for a better room upgrade. And someone will be like, but you just got like a room on a higher floor with a better view. That's not really an upgrade. So I pose this question to you. If it's the same exact room, same exact suite, same configuration, but with a better view, if that's the upgrade you get, is that a real upgrade? Is that a good upgrade, or is it not?
It's an upgrade for sure. It's an upgraded view. I wish I had an upgraded view that time I stayed at a downtown Grand and had a view of the wall, or that time I stayed at Excalibur and had a view of the wall. So yeah, I would have been happy if I did the $20 trick and managed to get myself an upgraded view. A view is a nice touch. Maybe it's not complimentary whatever, or extremely fine furnishings and golden toilets that spray your butt, but hey, at least it's a better view. I mean, it's an upgrade.
I agree. I think it's an upgrade. I mean, a lot of people will say something isn't an upgrade unless it's to a higher room category, which means size usually, or the easiest differentiation. I went from a room to a suite or a junior suite. Now let's take it a little bit further though. Then people say that's not a real suite when you're referring to a junior suite. So I know some people who say it's not really a suite unless there's a door between the living room and the bedroom. If it's all one big room, like a studio, then it's not really a suite.
Yeah, people like to use the term real a lot. It's you're getting the same stuff that you would get in a regular suite. It just doesn't have a dividing wall between, the bed and the couch. But I would say a junior suite is fine.
Okay, and I agree with that kind of thing. I mean, I think legitimately it's not a matter of real or fake or good or bad. I mean, I think legitimately when you talk about suites, the fact that a suite has a door to the bedroom does make a big difference depending on what your circumstances are. Like if you're working remotely and you're with a partner and you need to get on your computer early in the morning, it's nice to be able to go into the living room of the suite and close the door to the bedroom, and your partner can keep sleeping. So I think there are realistic, perhaps you'd consider them pragmatic responses to that, like what's a real suite. But I don't think I don't think it's really codified of something being real because a suite has a door. Or in the same instances, upgrades, I think, I think an upgrade to a room with a view is real. I think that the thing that people are trying to say is just tipping someone $20 or $50 and getting the same room with a better view is not good value for your tip. But remember, it's a tip and you're trying to be nice. The reason why you tip someone is because you're trying to be nice. If you're tipping someone with the expectation that you're definitely going to get something amazing, that's probably more like a bribe than a tip. But like, what's the differentiation, right? If that's where I love the whole gambling aspect. I love gambling on things. I love gambling on whether an upgrade will clear, gambling on if you tip somebody, maybe they'll give you a better upgrade. But then you can even say gambling on the fact that if I'm not an asshole and I'm a nice person when I check in, maybe they'll give me a good upgrade. That's actually the least expensive way to get many things in life, is to be kind and not be an asshole.
There you go.
So that's it. So that's the I think the whole view argument is there. I would say I agree with you. If I have the chance, I would prefer a view, all things together. I don't know. Would I rather have a bigger bougie suite, if there's such a thing, with a view of the wall instead of a good or a smaller room with a view? I'm not sure, but I guess sort of that would depend on circumstances. And Movestra, why do you have this thing against walls? Walls have never done anything to you. I mean, maybe a view of a wall is a very soothing thing for some people.
Yeah, for people in prison. But like when you go to Las Vegas,
for people in prison.
I mean, when you go to Las Vegas, you expect you expect some Vegas outside of your room. You know what I mean? And it's seriously the view I had at Excalibur. If I could find it on my Twitter feed. Oh, it was when you know when it was. It was when I DJ'd at Travel Zork at Zorkfest 2017, 2018. This first Zorkfest. I stayed at Excalibur.
Can you do like EDM music sounds? There. Oh, Vegas Uns. That was a great. I loved Vegas Uns. You blew people's mind with that podcast.
I pissed people off with that podcast. But anyway. But where's
Vegas Uns?
What happened to the Vegas Bright podcast? You all complained. So now I'm doing this. Anyway, I gotta work on that. But yeah, I had a view of like this white wall.
You all complained. So then I did something that will make you really complain.
Pissed. Yeah, anyway, but like, and it's just a view of this white wall at Excalibur. This white wall, and you just sort of look up, and you see like a fence and some sort of maybe greenery, but you also look down, and you see overgrown weeds and stuff like that. And it was just like, what is this? But that's, I got the cheapest room I could find, and that was it. I thought I would have something, like a little glimmer of like a slice of like the MGM Grand, or at least the freaking airport. But I mean, it was just
this brings back I'll leave you with one funny story. And this was at Argosy in Indiana at the hotel there, which is the least bougie hotel in the world. And I was going with a buddy, and we were sharing a room. We were just there for one night. And when we went to check in really late, the woman checking us in is like, "I'm really sorry, but this like room is right next to the train tracks." And I was like, who cares? Like, how bad could that be? And there are no views there. Like, what? It was literally like out of My Cousin Vinny.
Wow.
It was literally like the room next to the train tracks. Like 100-car freight train came through at like 4:30 in the morning.
Wow.
And literally, if you opened the drapes, like the train was like outside your window.
Jeez.
I'm really sorry, sir, but I just want you to be aware that your room is really close to the train tracks. I'm like, oh, that shouldn't be a problem. Like, is this a problem?
That,
So you might
wow.
be woken out of bed at 5 o'clock in the morning, like literally like jump out of bed when the train comes. So I guess it depends. It was a view of the train.
Ah, God, that's horrible.
It was pretty funny. No, it was it's great travel stories. Anyway, I love the view conversation. Thank you for entertaining me, Movestro.
Oh, no problem. And before we get going, is there anything on your mind or anything you'd like to share?
No, I think, people should go to travelzork.travel and check out. We've been doing a Vegas experts page where we're starting to do overviews of all the Vegas properties, which we're having a lot of fun with. We also are sharing things about air concierge service, which reduces the friction points of air travel. Imagine being met at the curb when you arrive at the airport with someone whisking you away to check in and then whisking you to the front of security and then whisking you, lots of whisking going on,
Lots of whisking, yes.
to the lounge, and then taking you to pre-board the airplane, and you never have to worry about where you're going, what you're doing, or waiting in any lines. Wouldn't that be magnificent?
That would be fantastical.
It would be fantastical. Unfortunately, it's also fantastically expensive, but maybe it's not that expensive. It depends on the realm, on what you're doing. But I love talking about those kind of things and talking about those services. And we like to talk about that kind of stuff on casinos too. But anyway, if you get a chance, check out travelzork.travel. And of course, also check out the travelzork.com website, which Movestro works on every single week, making sure we have lots of great articles published. And he's actually working on travelzork.com 2.0, or more modern than the really old website. And that's going to be really exciting. And that's coming soon, with an asterisk that could be anytime from 1 month to 1 year. So you're just going to have to wait really patiently. It's sort of like when they tell you a new hotel's opening and it gets delayed for a year. That's the travelzork.com website. Not anybody's fault per se. You're like, oh my God, I've just insulted you.
A month. It's going to be a month. Pretty sure it's going to be a month. Working on testing plugins with our current version of PHP and all that stuff. So it's fun. And building out that media page, which is going to be pretty fire.
That's right. And if anyone out there needs some great creative YouTube work or website development, Movestro to hire. He's not just a pretty face.
Thank you for acknowledging that. I wish most people would acknowledge that I'm not just a pretty face. But yeah, hit me up on Twitter or Facebook or X, whatever it's called now,
or wherever you like to hit people up.
There you go. Yeah, that works. I'm not great at self-promoting.
I know you actually like suck at self-promoting. That's why I like to promote you. I promote you once. I promote you once every 112 episodes. I don't know how many episodes we do. I can't even keep track of the number of episodes we've done. Anyway, thank you everybody for joining us. Let us know your favorite view. Better yet, tweet us a picture of your favorite hotel view and why, and we will share it in a future episode. It'll be Exceptional View 2.0 episode, but I would love to see those pictures. So tweet us or blue sky us or thread us or share it in a TravelZork Facebook group or just send it to our email, tips@travelzork.com. Want to see your pictures, and I'd love to hear your story. If there's a story behind it, like you got the view by being nice, your host gave you the great view, it happened by accident, it was a total surprise views, best views, we'd love to hear that.
Alrighty, and that's going to do it for this episode. Luxury travel booking, travelzork.travel. Visit us at travelzork.travel to plan your next amazing vacation, not just to Las Vegas, but anywhere in the world. And feel free to join us on social media. You can find us easily. All social platforms are at TravelZork. We'll see you next time.